Hello and welcome to Deliberately Creative. I hope you enjoy this. This is the crabapple that I picked in my front yard and I thought it was so cute. I mean, look how small that apple is. But it looks like a perfectly formed little apple. Doesn't that look sweet? It's not. It's quite pucker forming tart. So let's get started and have some fun. So this one's going to be drawn in with a brown 05 Pigma Micron pen. It is waterproof, fade proof, and archival. And I thought that the brown lines might be nice to do instead of the heavy black lines this time. So I think I'm going to do it kind of from, maybe this angle here. So it's got its little branch with some little nubs and this fun texture on the branch right here too. So it almost looks stacked. And then I'm just going to let this stem come back. I'm not going to actually put the leaf on it. And then shift a little bit so you can see. I'm all the way up to this point here. And I'm going to put just a little pointy bit right there. Now there'll be this leaf coming off. That pointy bit there, that's the stem. And then going up and coming way out. The center bit right here. And these leaves have a bit of a serration to them. So I'm going to go ahead and get that on there. So it comes out, and goes in, and goes out, and comes up, and then that has a little wiggle in it. And another little wiggle. Like that. Whoops, sorry, I fell off the edge of the page there. Let me zoom out just a bit for you. So then that's where your center line is coming back, right here. And there was actually a bit more of a serration to that. Look at this. I'm not worried that I'm going back over my edges. It's okay. Remember, we are doing a sketch. This is a sketchbook. This is for practice. I'm not worried about it being perfect. And I am certainly not trying to be photorealistic. You know, it's not necessary to be photorealistic in your sketchbook unless that makes you happy. If it makes you happy, go for it. Me, I'm not so happy about photorealism for my work because I'm too impatient. And I'm not going to put all of the veins in, but I am putting some. And one of the nice things about using this sort of brownish pen is that the veining in this leaf has a slight brown tone to it. Let's see if you can see how it's slightly brown, going right down the center, just ever so slightly. But there, you know. We're just getting some indications of veins in here. We're not too worried. Isn't that fun though? Doesn't it look almost like a real leaf? Well, it should. I was drawing it from a real leaf. Now, the next leaf is going to be behind. So I think I'm going to have it really step in behind here. So the stem is coming out from behind this point, right here. The stem of the leaf. it sort of widens out a little bit as it comes up to the actual leaf. That one did too, but you know, sometimes you get all of the details and sometimes you just get some. Like that. A little bit of a jaggedy edge. And it comes out to a bit of a point right there. It has the center that's fairly defined. I need to shift my pens back. I'm tapping it with my pen. I don't know, some people might like that. And then there's sort of a shadow line that was coming back here, and sort of a shadow line coming right there, where this is bumped up and down and up and down. And then there's actual veins coming out and working their way in behind. So this little leaf here will be a little bit more shadow. See, there's actually a shadow showing up on it. When this is overlapping, there's actually a shadow right there. And there's that shadow here and a shadow there. But you see, you don't have to have a ton of detail to make it actually look like a real leaf. I could keep putting details in, but I think getting in and getting the little apple in sounds like fun. So let's go ahead and get this one last leaf in. That one, the stem of the leaf is coming from the other side of this little pointy bit, where the end of the stem, end of the branch. So that almost comes like this, and then there's an apple stem that's still attached, but the apple is gone. And then there's this little apple stem coming this way. And that's where the apple's going to be. But I just wanted to get the rest of the this little twiggy branch put in this way, and then it's got a little stumpy bit coming out that way, and then it's just going to disappear off the edge, because that is that little bit that's right there about where my thumb is. Now we have this one leaf that's decided that it's going to go rogue, and it's way up here, way up there, and then the center of the line, I'm going to have it going that way, off the edge almost. And it just disappears off the edge. So this one comes up like this and down, and there's some serration. There's a little bump. There's some more serrated bits, and then it swoops in and goes out to the tip. And then the same thing here, goes up, has serration, 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 kind of dips in, serration, over, and out to the tip. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to match up exactly. It can just look like a leaf. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to look like a leaf, you know. Have you ever noticed that the veins inside of a leaf actually look very much like the branches on a tree? They start out wider at the trunk, and they work their way out thinner as they go out to the edges. It's true. That. And just get a few more little lines in here. This is fun. And I could sit here and putz around and just keep keep doing this for a long, long time, but I want to get that apple in there now. So I'm looking at it. It's sort of, let's see, get it at the angle for you to see. So this is the angle I'm looking at. Now I have to pick it up and turn it just slightly to be that angle for myself. So there's, I'm seeing a little bit of a divot right here. You see a lot more of it. And then it's coming down and around, and it bumps up right here where the blossom end was. Comes around and goes up and over. And then this has almost a little extra cheeky bit there. You know, this is not a cherry, so we don't want it to look perfect like a cherry. But I think that doesn't look too bad. And you know what? I'm going to make it a little bit broader. This side here is going to be a little more red, so I think I can manage that out. Manage to work that out. I'm going to go ahead and start putting that in. You know, again, remember, it's a sketch. It is a sketch. So I'm going to go ahead and get that apple started, and to kind of dull that yellow down just a little. Ooh, that's really dark still. Let's move that around. And I think I'm just going to take that out onto the leaves too, since I have it. And a bit up here. And yep, I've already splattered some paint on my paper. That's okay. It's just a little texture. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit brighter yellow. It's going to be brighter, darker. I don't know. Yeah, it's a little darker, a little more opaque. But as you put water in things, it evens the colors out some. I am going to go ahead and get some of this red color. See, and because I'm still using the Inktense blocks as my color, it is ink. Once you put it down, it stays. So there's a bit of serendipity that happens, and leave a little bit of some brightness there. But there's the darker. I'm not worried about going outside the lines. I'm just looking at this going, okay, so yeah, that's how I work that out. Ha-ha. There. And then, boop. Soften those colors out a little bit. That's not too bad. I think I want something that's slightly darker to put in down here at the base. A little bit more shadowy, but leaving some of the spaces there also. Maybe a bit of that up on the edge, and maybe just tapping it along. That's not too bad. I like that. And then really really make that darker. I think I want to work that out just a little bit. I'm going to work that edge out. This is part of the problem of sitting at the table to do these types of sketches where I'm reaching out across, is that my perspective gets a little bit skewed. But there, you can see. What I was coming up with. All right, so now we need some greens and browns. I think I'm going to go for this kind of, let's see. That's a good shadowy green. Let's go ahead and get this in here. Sort of a shadowy green. Right in there. Needs to be a little darker. Ooh, okay, I picked up another green that was next to it. That's a little more piney green almost. Not quite these colors. But I think I can still work a bit of water out into that. Oh yeah, there we go. See, and we're just getting that shadow right down in behind there, and then letting it just line up on that edge. Oh, that's actually quite nice, I think. Let's see. And I know this is a lot different color than the actual leaf, but mostly I'm just trying to get lights and shadows and not worry too much about matching it perfectly. So a bit of shadow going up, just sort of working it back and forth and out. Some of the spots are going to be up, some are down. Where they're up, they're lighter. Where they're down, they're darker. I like how the brown is working out as for the veins. Okay, so let's grab this kind of green here. Brighten that up just a little bit in a few spots. We're almost done with this one. We just have to do the stem of the branch. And a few more touches of just a little bit of color. Let's see. I'm just sort of randomly touching some other... Whoa! Okay, that was too dark. Whoop. Maybe we'll do that. We'll go... Ah, there we are. That's more the leafy green. My leaves are just getting ready to start turning for the autumn though. So that's why there's a little more brown in them and a little more of the yellow. But we're just glazing them to make them a little more green. All right, we're going to get that brown in there. Get the lighter color brown in first. And again, I'm not worried about staying in the lines on these stems and things, you know? It makes it more painterly, it makes it look more sketchy, like I was drawing with my pen or with my paintbrush. I'm going to put a little bit of that blossom stuff in there. And then this bit right here was a little dark, but there were some spots of light on it. And then we're just going to work our way down, leaving some light spots, leaving some dark spots. Put a little bit of this in on the stems, just because I want to darken them up just a little bit as they're coming off here. Maybe even a little bit of that to darken up around the edge over there. See, we're just having fun. Now the actual stems themselves of these leaves are green, so I am going to put a bit more of the green in them. Just a touch. And I think that there's going to be more of spattering, because I kind of like the look of the spatter, but look at that. Isn't it fun? And I like the idea of the spattering on the leaves and on the book, on the page. And maybe there's some brighter green back in there still. Some little speckles. Inktense will give me enough white as that shine. Get a little bit of the shine. Oh yeah, that's a nice little dull shine right there. And a little bit right here. Maybe even push that around just a bit. Even a little bit of the shine on some white bits on this bark. Maybe not shine, but there's some little white textury bits right in there. Oh, that just made that look more like the branch. Look at that. All right, this looks really cool. I am so happy with how that turned out. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with your friends. Make sure that you put the video into your playlists and share it on your social media. That really helps my channel out, and you know, sharing is caring when it comes to videos. I hope that you go out and do something creative. Take care of yourself so that you can take care of those around you. And I hope to see you back here again really soon. Bye-bye.